All righty, we're good. We're live. What is up? Let me refresh this page here. Make sure I see the chat as the chatters come in. Yeah, we're live. Welcome in, guys. Welcome in, guys. If you're watching on YouTube later, or if you're going to be joining the live stream here in a little bit, welcome in. We appreciate you guys tuning in. This is Playbook Podcast. I don't even know what episode we're on anymore, to be honest. When we switched to live streams, we kind of quit doing the episode thing. Unfortunately, it's probably not the best idea, but I can pull it up real quickly here. Maybe. I hope everyone's doing well. I'm very excited to be back. I missed the last couple of weeks. Last week I missed due to a personal reason, and then the week before I missed because I was out of town. So it's really good to be back. I'm really excited. The boys were holding it down for us, for me, of course, for the boys. So we're on episode that's 34, 35, 36, 37. I think, or we're 37 or 38. I don't know. We're around there, but welcome in. Yes, Amish, we're talking F1 tonight. Do not worry. Do not worry. I have it specifically on here. Here, I'll tell you the question I have. We're gonna break down Austria a bit, and then I have a fun question. Is Sonny Hayes the biggest what if in F1 history? So I'm really excited to we're gonna be talking about Sonny Hayes. Don't worry. We're gonna be talking about if Kimi Antonelli watched the F1 movie before the race and wanted to try out a Sonny Hayes tactic on Max Verstappen. So that's gonna be really, really exciting. I'm super pumped. We're gonna jump right on into this. So one thing that I wanted to talk about, I wanted to speak on this. LeBron, okay, guys, we're in the deep trenches of the offseason. The NBA's over. There's no NFL. It's MLB baseball, like regular season, so no one really cares about it. So we're gonna have to talk, like, just pull topics out of the ether. So this is a topic we're pulled out of the ether. Trey Lopez, no one wants to talk about the stupid Cowboys doc, bro. Nobody wants to talk about it.
I want to talk about it.
You can talk about it. You can talk about it. I don't want to even discuss.
I want to talk about it.
I'll let you talk about it. So, a couple weeks ago, I think it was a couple weeks ago, LeBron was on his podcast, Mind the Game with Steve Nash, and he talked about ring culture, and he talked about how ring culture has kind of affected, the sports in general, but he's specifically talking about basketball, how it changes people's perceptions on players who were very great, but who people might not remember as being as great because they didn't have a ring. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to discuss our thoughts on that. I don't know if Trey has talked about it in the weeks I was gone or not. Perfect. And then we're going to hop into some NFL, guys. We're going to break down the divisions. We're going to start one division per week because we have 9 Sundays away. So we might have to do 2 divisions. Oh, no, we're perfect because we're good because there's 8 divisions. So we're going to do a division per week. This week, we're going to be talking about the AFC West. And then we're going to be talking about a little bit about which, QBs are facing the most pressure to win a Super Bowl. Trey's going to talk about the Cowboy doc. I'm not going to talk about the Cowboy doc. We're going to make our early picks on the Open for golf. And we're going to move over to some combat sports, talk a little boxing, talk a little UFC. If you watch UFC 317 and you have a heart, you're probably very, 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 very angry. And then we have 3 of the most ridiculously stupid topics I've ever seen in my life. I'm really excited. It's going to be fun. But yeah, man, let's just jump right in on this here. So yeah, like we were saying earlier, LeBron did mention ring culture. I want you to lead here. You can kind of break down your thoughts on it. What do you feel about it? And what's your overall take on ring culture as a whole in general?
Right. So I did watch the podcast, the full podcast, by the way, with Steve Nash and LeBron. By the way, probably the best podcast out there right now. No offense to Stephen A. or Nick Wright or anybody's, but not even better than ours because we're still new at this stuff and we're still getting our foot into the door into the media world. But I did watch what he said about ring culture. And I saw people talk about it on mainstream media, on Fox, Stephen A. On First Take, ESPN, and whatnot. So here's my point about this, okay? I do agree with LeBron, but at the same time, though, he kind of put pressure on himself when he went to Miami about winning multiple rings at once. I mean, I don't know if you remember this, Nick, but people forget this part too. When we went to Miami, I watched this live on TV, and it was Jim Gray, Bosh, Wade, and LeBron in one podium. And basically, LeBron said that he's going to win 8 rings, basically, and it turns out they only won 2. And no, they won 3. No, 2. Yeah, 2 in 4 years. Okay, and 4 seasons. So, but back to where I'm saying with LeBron, I agree with LeBron on. I'm gonna do this in all sports for a second.
Go for it.
And football, to me, the greatest football player of all time is Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm.
And golf, you'll never hear me say in my entire life that Jack Sparrow and Tiger Woods.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you hear me say that out there, guys,
It's not Trey Lopez.
I want you to slap me or check if I'm cloned.
Yeah.
Please do that. Okay. And boxing wise, people say always the GOAT, respectfully. I think for me, it's Mayweather due to what he did in the ring. I mean, yeah, he didn't knock anybody out, but you know what, you won't go there yet.
We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it.
And then also, of course, in soccer, you have Messi as the GOAT, even though Ronaldo has the most goals in the history of soccer. And of course, you have Wayne Gretzky, the GOAT of hockey. Yeah. But this guy, bro, Amish. Anyways, okay, this is not this ain't the Diddy show. Anyways, here's the deal, okay. I kind of blame a little bit on media for putting this whole ring culture stuff on LeBron James. Here's the deal. The only argument I hate this about LeBron James arguments, okay? Oh, he's 4-6 in the finals, by the way. Do you realize LeBron played against the greatest team of all time in the Warriors?
Twice, by the way.
Twice. And the first time in 2015, if Kyrie and Kevin Love didn't get hurt, they would have won that finals straight up. I believe that. Okay? Here's my problem with ring culture. If you want to do that, then Bill Russell is the greatest basketball player of all time. Better than Michael Jordan, LeBron James, better than Kareem, Kobe, whoever it is. If you want to do that part scenario, Babe Ruth is better than Barry Bonds. Babe Ruth has 5 World Series, and Barry Bonds has 0. Mm-hmm. But Barry Bonds has most MVPs, by the way, in baseball. Behind him and Pete Rose. So rest in peace of Pete Rose. But here's the deal. I kind of blame a little bit on the media for doing this whole crap. The media kind of put a narrative out there that if you are Michael Jordan, baseball player, was terrible, bro. He was terrible. I'm probably better than him at baseball at 22.
Probably.
But here's the deal. How many B-ball championships does Barry Bonds have? I know he has 0. I just said that, Travis. But here's the deal, okay? I kind of blame a little bit on. I blame Skip Bayless for this stuff. I blame Skip for this crap. I blame Skip Bayless for this stuff. Skip Bayless created this narrative on LeBron James that in order for him to be better than Michael Jordan, you have to be able to beat one of 7 rings in a row. Okay, in my personal opinion, I think Dwayne Wade is better than Draymond Green, and Dwayne Wade has 3 rings and Draymond has 4. That's my personal opinion. I think Kevin Durant is better than Jokic from a talent perspective, but I think Jokic is a better player overall. Okay, I think Ray Allen is better than Manu Ginobili. Straight up. I think that, in my opinion, LeBron James is either 1 or 2 of the greatest players of all time, and he has 4 rings. but I'm not going to consider Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in that scenario because Kareem was great, but in my opinion, Magic's better than Kareem, and Magic has 5 and Kareem has 6. This whole ring culture stuff is stupid. And like I said earlier, Tiger Woods to me is the most dominant golfer ever. He's the best. He's the greatest golfer ever. But Jack has 18 majors. I don't want to hear that crap. Okay, I hate the argument. Jack played in a soft era. I mean, dude, he playing against a bunch of old white people, by the way, and drinking from drinking scotch and whiskey right there on the course. And Tiger Woods played against competition actually in his prime.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, name one person Tiger Woods playing that era in golf, Nick, that was better than Jack Nicklaus's era.
Phil Mickelson.
Phil Mickelson was better. Vijay Singh, Eddie, what's his name? Ernie Els.
Brooks Koepka when Tiger was older and Brooks was in his prime.
Rory McIlroy.
Yeah, he played against all those guys.
And Tiger still the GOAT.
Yeah.
Jack Nicklaus played against freaking all white dudes that were.
I can't name one guy Jack Nicklaus played against. I'm not gonna.
There's only 3 people I know. It's Tom Watson, Greg Norman.
Yeah, Greg Norman. Yeah.
And also Gary Sneed. I don't know his name, but Gary Player. That's what his name is.
Oh, Gary Player.
Sam Sneed. But that's about it. That's about it.
Yeah.
Other than that, no one's better than Tiger Woods. Let's go football for example for a second. In my opinion, Aaron Rodgers is top 4 QB of all time, better than Joe Montana. And that's my personal opinion. You know why? Because from a talent perspective, he was the greatest arm thrower I've ever seen in my entire life. And until Mahomes came, by the way. Mahomes to me is a top 2 QB of all time. I mean, that's over 9,900,000 players that play in the NFL, basically. I have Mahomes top 2 of all time. In my personal opinion, I think Randy Moss is the second greatest wide receiver of all time behind Jerry Rice. Now, Nick might be mad at me about this one. In my opinion, Michael Irvin is the top 5 receiver of all time. That's my opinion. I don't care what you say, Nick. I don't care what you say. To me, he's top 5 receiver of all time in the history of the NFL. But he has 3 rings. And I think T.O. is top 3. He has 0 rings. Des Bryant was terrible. He was a terrible route runner. He was only good at mossing people and speed. That's it. But and I think LT is the greatest defensive player of all time is by having 1 ring.
Mm-hmm.
So now let's go to baseball. In my opinion, Barry Bonds is the greatest baseball player of all time. Okay. Behind him is Shohei Ohtani.
Sorry, I had to throw the X up.
And then it is Pete Rose.
Okay.
And then I probably give you Mickey Mantle. That guy Sammy Sosa was really good. And so was Alex Rodriguez. That's my top 5 of all time. And baseball is a team sport. Yeah. So this whole ring culture crap is stupid. I agree with LeBron. It has kind of ruined a little bit of talking sports. But at the same time, LeBron put pressure on himself. And I completely understand why he did that. But that's my opinion about that. But go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with a lot of what you said. I think the biggest thing about ring culture to me is it's a direct attack at people who are great.
Yeah.
They don't have this many rings or they don't have this or that. It's specifically rings because there's individual awards and stuff like that, and those can be different. But for the team stuff, a ring is a team. It's a team award. It's a team award. If you're in golf, golf or tennis, right? Those are the only 2 sports we really think of. Or I guess the UFC as well. Combat sports, tennis and golf, where it's like you don't have a team. You have a team, but you know what I mean. When you're performing on whatever sport it is, it's you and you don't have anyone to rely on in terms to help you perform. The big thing for me with rings, the ring culture stuff is it takes away from people's greatness. Because if you look at, I don't even have to use LeBron. I don't even want to have to use LeBron for the argument. I like what you were doing, going back and forth between different sports. And LeBron did mention this too. Does that mean we can't even put Peyton Manning in the same discussion as Tom Brady and Mahomes because he only has 2 rings? I think Peyton Manning's the third. I think Peyton Manning's better than Joe Montana,
Same.
right? And people might be like, well, that's ridiculous. That's stupid. Why would you think that? Montana has 4 rings. Well, Montana also had the most ridiculous team ever. And football specifically is a very, very team-oriented sport. Why do we say Tom Brady's the GOAT? Because we've seen him win with a great team and we've seen him win with a less great team. I just and what Tom Brady did is kind of ridiculous. He won 7. But I've been on this show. Trey said on this show, a lot of people have said if Mahomes got 4 or 5, he's in the conversation. Like, is he better than Tom Brady? And for going back to basketball, you think of some fantastic players, and I like how you use Ray Allen and Manu Ginobili. I'll give you a couple. If you think of Tracy McGrady, Allen Iverson, Carmelo Anthony, a lot of those guys are kind of looked down upon in NBA history because they've never won a ring.
And Charles Barkley too.
When they're fantastic, great players, right? So rather than attacking ring culture as a whole, I want to kind of take a different spin on it. It's attacking these great players who weren't in the best situations. So Colin Cowherd said, well, LeBron went to Miami to win rings. I don't know why that. I truly have no idea why that's a discussion. Everybody wants to win. Obviously, everyone I don't understand the thought that because he went to Miami, it means he believes in ring culture. It makes no sense. He wants to win the greatest achievement in the sport with his team, which is winning a ring, right? And that's the greatest team achievement. That's what you go to work for, all that stuff, right? But it's important to have context. It's important to have understanding, really trying to figure out, what. Yeah, SGA does have a ring, by the way. Yeah, he does. Congratulations. He beat the 5 seed Pacers and Tyrese Halliburton's Achilles flew off of his ankle, but whatever. It's whatever. It's still, nonetheless, I don't want to take anything away from her. Great achievement. Fantastic. Well, yeah, great stuff. Great stuff to the Thunder. But anyways, that being said, LeBron went to the Heat because he wanted to win a ring, right? And also the Cavs were just doing nothing. They didn't want to trade away. I don't even know the guy's name. It was like Dwayne Brown or something. Some ridiculous. They wouldn't give him up in a trade for Amari Stoudemire. And LeBron saw that the Cavs were not going to do anything, so he left, right? And for me, it's important to understand the individual greatness and rings. Like when you're talking about GOATs or whatever, it's important to have all of these things in the discussion. So yeah, Dwayne Brown. And I don't remember exactly who it was, but it is not anywhere good as Amari Stoudemire. It's important to have everything, right? Context, because like Trey said, Michael Jordan said this himself. If it was just rings, everyone would say Bill Russell's the GOAT. Everybody. If it was just rings, Kareem would be in the debate with Michael Jordan and LeBron, and a lot of people have Kareem in that debate. I think he's a solid, firmly third, but there's a lot of people who have him 2 or have him in that debate. But why are they not? Because we take context into account. What era did you play in? Who were your teammates? How good were your teammates? Were your teammates not as good as this guy's? Were your teammates better than this guy's? What did your path look like, right? All these different things are really important and key factors in understanding and trying to develop, a GOAT debate for a team sport. Right. It's a lot easier in individual sports. And even in individual sports, 95% of people on planet Earth have Tiger Woods as the GOAT, right? And he doesn't have as many majors as Jack, right? But we still have the context. We understand he played in a tougher era. He played against tougher competition. The courses were harder. I know the equipment was better. It wasn't that much better. Nike clubs freaking stink, right? It wasn't that much better. Those are one step removed from wooden clubs, like they really are. But it's just important to have context. It's important to have understanding. I totally understand LeBron's frustration. I do blame Skip Bayless for this. He made it his whole agenda, and he used his platform to say, well, LeBron doesn't have 6 rings, so he can never be the GOAT. Well, then nobody's ever gonna be better than Tom Brady then, because probably no one's ever gonna get to 7. But that's if Mahomes got 5 or 6, most people would probably say it's Mahomes because of the context, understanding, right? And So it really it's a culmination of everything, and it's a disservice to the sport. It's a disservice to yourself as a person who watches sports to say, "Oh, that guy's the best just because he has rings," right? Well, maybe, but let's take into account everything. So that's kind of my thoughts on that. So I I think ring culture takes away from a lot of really 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 great players because they weren't in really really great situations, right? Like,
Right.
does anyone genuinely truly believe that, I'll use Jason Tatum as an example, right? Does anyone think Jason Tatum is better than like Carmelo Anthony? Probably not, right? He might end up being, but Carmelo Anthony never had the team that Jason Tatum had. He never had the situation Jason Tatum had. But if you look at stats, you look at overall achievements, people are probably going to say that it's Carmelo Anthony or Allen Iverson or someone like that or Travis Kai, right? No, Travis Kai doesn't have any rings, but he's still the GOAT, right? So
Yeah, and one more thing too, back to what you said about some of it's on GMs too, because GMs put them in bad positions overall. Like for example, Kobe Bryant.
yeah,
Lakers wasted Kobe Bryant's best years in basketball. Because from 2006 to 2008, maybe '09, he probably was the best player in the league because he had like 42 points per game basically for like a whole month, carrying a
yeah,
Lakers team that was terrible. So and look, and same with what's his face with Carmelo Anthony too. He had some decent players, but he didn't have Chris Paul on his team or Kobe Bryant as a shooting guard. He had J.R. Smith and Chris Anderson, and he had the old Allen Iverson who was like finna retire.
mm-hmm,
That's why, and then top of that, you got Chauncey Billups too, who's already washed up. You
mm-hmm,
know, so it depends on the scenarios too you're put in. And unless you're Cooper Flag, you may be less than to win a ring your first year, then that's about it. And look at LeBron. LeBron, Dan Gilbert didn't do anything for the team for Cleveland. He could have gotten Chris Paul. He could have traded picks, but he didn't do that.
mm-hmm.
Instead, he wasted LeBron's the most athleticism ever in basketball, and he wasted that on a 37-year-old Shaq who was finna retire. A washed up Ben Wallace who was already old and washed up and retired and
Mm-hmm.
wanted to retire. You had Mo Williams who I don't know what happened to that guy after that. He had Deontay West who's homeless right now, literally homeless. Stop trying being for real. Look it up. Is literally
No,
homeless.
I know.
And LeBron carried that team to the finals, by the way.
Yeah,
So some kid and look at Barry Bonds too. Barry Bonds have the best teams ever. If he had Jeter's team, he would have had like freaking 10 World Series, bro.
yeah, probably.
He would
Yeah,
have had 10.
yeah,
10 World Series championships on his belt. And
yeah.
top of that, and golf too. Here's a deal, but you brought up the wood and golf and today's technology. I'm gonna address that real quick. I'm tired of hearing that crap because Tiger Woods at 17 years old was beating grown men on the amateur tour with the wooden clubs too. He hit the ball farther than anybody else, and guess what he did? He won. So I'm tired of
Mhm.
hearing that argument from Jack Nicklaus people. Oh, Tiger won better clubs. Shut up. They were not impressive, dude. Like
Yeah.
1 year older is not impressive. Tiger was at literally 16 was cooking grown men, bro. Cooking grown men. But we won't go there today. Maybe one episode we will go there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe one episode.
maybe one because I'm tired of that stupid Jack Nicklaus
Yeah,
crap.
yeah, we might have to do it. So yeah, I mean, like, does anyone do you really think that if you ask most people who's better, Tracy McGrady or Chauncey Billups, most people are gonna say Tracy McGrady was better. Chauncey Billups has a ring, but it's context, right? Let me say
Yeah,
J-Dub's better than Melo, right? No, he's not, right? Jalen Williams is not better than Carmelo Anthony, but
he's
one
not.
ring, zero. See, he's rage baiting us with the very topic we're talking about in our own chat. That's actually
I
crazy.
know.
Yeah, Tracy McGrady did have Yao Ming, right? He did, but he played against
And guess
Kobe
what?
and
He
Shaq.
got hurt.
Yeah, I mean Yao Ming was great, but when he was on the court,
Even
Jeremy
McGrady though,
Lin
he
is
got hurt
better than
too.
Melo. Dude, this is just pure rage bait from the chat, guys. I mean, I need some constructive stuff going on here, guys. I need some good stuff, not rage bait. Anyways.
By the way, Tristan McGrady, he blew his Achilles and he had to retire.
Yeah. So I mean, I just think green culture is ridiculous. I think it takes away from greatness of players who didn't have great situations. And that is personally why I have LeBron as the GOAT, because I think in his situation, nobody would have been able to do what he did in his situation, right? And that's kind of where I'm coming from. So,
I don't know. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
I watch more games.
No, so he knows well, I guess I'll go that way because my camera's flipped. He knows he's just tripping. So here's the thing about Jeremy Lin, Travis. His prime lasted about 2 weeks. Okay,
and then he was done.
He was done. So if Jeremy Lin was that good for the entire time he was with Melo, well, I'd have some concerns with Melo's ability to win, right? So for NBA rankings, what's your most important statistic or fact about the players that influence the ranking if it's not rings? Yeah, so I mean, I think rings are very, very important to the conversation, but for me, it's context is more important than everything. You have to have context for everything. Like I think that's not all rings are created equal. And I know that sounds crazy because a ring is a ring, but there's just no way you can tell me that like I'm going to use, you look at it depends on the teams, right? And when you get to GOAT debates, when they're this close, a lot of people for MJ and LeBron, the debates are so close. They're so tightly contested. You kind of have to do that. You have to figure out who did they play against. Like LeBron's 2016 ring against the 73-9 Warriors is far more impressive to me than any one ring Michael Jordan won his entire career. So that it's the context, right? MJ always had Scottie Pippen. He had Phil Jackson. He ended up getting Dennis Rodman. He had the best European player in the league at the time in Tony Kukoc. He had a great bench. He had a great point guard in Ron Harper. He had the best three-point shooter in the league at the time in Steve Kerr. Like, all that's really important. And that's why I think even LeBron leading a horrible team to the finals is incredibly impactful to his GOAT debate. That's why 2018, he did not win. That might be his greatest year ever.
Mm-hmm.
Right, 2007, he did not win. That's one of his greatest years ever. And it's just context. Context is more important to me than even rings, because I think it's important to know. For the NFL, it's a lot harder because it's even more. It's the ultimate team game, right? It's the ultimate team game. There's you can never play. That's why I hate quarterback head-to-head win statistics. Like, people always hold against Mahomes that he lost to Brady twice. Was Mahomes playing safety? No, he wasn't, right? And he was not playing safety. He was not playing defensive end. He was not playing corner. So it's just, for NFL, it's context is super important as well. I think context is important in every single sport. But for the NFL, I think it's how, specifically because right now only quarterbacks are kind of it. Well, not only quarterbacks, because a lot of people think LT's the GOAT. A lot of people think Jerry Rice is the GOAT. I think Jerry Rice is the greatest football player ever, right? I think Tom Brady's the GOAT. I think Jerry Rice is the greatest football player ever. But for Mahomes' case, it will always be, I'll use Mahomes as an example, right? Yeah, how clutch you are. Clutch is huge, especially for NFL. It's huge for the NBA too, but for NFL, like your Super Bowls, your AFC or NFC title games, how good your defense was. Like Mahomes, his first couple rings, his defense was not good.
Mm-hmm.
That first ring he won, his defense, they had Chris Jones, but they weren't what they are now, right? They weren't the fantastic defense they are now. Tom Brady always had a top 10 defense when he won a Super Bowl. Aaron Rodgers never had a defense quite like that. Or I'll use Drew Brees as an example. The only time Drew Brees had I think it was a top 5 defense around there, top 10, top 5, top 8. He won the Super Bowl. So that's another thing is really important, right? Sorry, I know I got to bring up the Niners. I'm so sorry. I apologize. I didn't do that as a shot for you. I'm sorry. Mahomes is on my mind, but for Mahomes is the example. How good was he when his defense wasn't good? How clutch was he in final drives of a game? And the same can go for the NBA. The same can go for baseball. The same can go for all these different sports, right? It's who, why, how, when. That's all really important to me. I value that over rings. That's why
Yeah.
I think Barry Bonds is the GOAT. I think Shohei Ohtani is the greatest baseball player ever, but I think he can be the GOAT, but I think Barry Bonds is the GOAT. He's never won a World Series. I think LeBron's the GOAT. He has 4. There's guys with 6. There's guys with 7. There's guys with 11. Like, and for me, I think Tiger's the GOAT. He has 15. Jack has 18. I think Max Verstappen's the greatest F1 driver ever. He has 4. Lewis has 7. Like there's for me, context is really important. So, and I try to be consistent across all sports. All sports with that, because that's really important to me. Keep that consistency, because I can't say LeBron's the GOAT. The only real GOAT I have that has the most rings out of all the guys is Tom Brady, and that's it. That's it. And
I think for Brady though, like it's more for me than 15% rings for Brady because no offense to Mahomes too. I think Mahomes is great too, but I look at receivers too who he threw to.
Yeah, exactly.
Because Julian Edelman's not a Hall of Famer. His stats ain't that good. And when he had what's his name, so when Brady left, I don't know the guy's name. I think it was Cam Newton. If I'm mistaken, or even Mac Jones his rookie year, he wasn't like freaking Tom Brady because Tom Brady made his teammates better around him too. Even when his team was let down, his defensive side, well, Travis, he will never be a Hall of Famer. Every beat writer doesn't like Julian Edelman for watching what he did that one season. That's why, because beat writers don't want to put him in the Hall of Fame. Kind of like what he did to Terrell Owens for a long time until he finally got in, and when he was 50 years old. But yeah, I think with Tom Brady too, it's more for me than the GOAT, because in my opinion, I think Brady didn't have the strongest arm, but he had the most accurate arm I've seen. And also top of that, he was fast throwing the ball too. He was fast, and he can let his team downfield too when he won. And he didn't play. Aaron Hernandez. We won't go there. We won't go there.
Let's not go there. Let's not go there.
Yeah. By the way, that was a interesting name. Okay, Amos, here's the deal though. What did Belichick do without Brady? What do you do without Brady? Yeah, exactly.
He's actually.
Yeah, he hasn't. Brady. Yeah, Mac Jones. You know what he did? You know what Belichick did? I'll tell you what he did. I'll tell you what he did for Mac Jones. He called Nick Saban. Hey, Nick Saban, give me someone like Tom Brady. Okay, cool. I got you. I got this guy named Mac Jones on my team. He's won a national championship, by the way. Okay, cool. I got you. Hangs up the phone. Drafts him. He won. He had one good rookie year. What did he do after that? He got cut. He right now was a backup to Bryce Young for the Panthers. Look at Cam Newton. No, he got Tebow second. That's what he got. He got Tim Tebow. Hey, Tebow, I want Tebow because you know what? Because Tebow was great in Florida. You know what happened to Tim Tebow? He cut him because it was freaking awful. He went to play baseball for the Mets. Now let's go to Cam Newton. Cam Newton got Cam Newton, bro, had one good season in the NFL. That was in 2015 when he went to Super Bowl, and despite him losing Peyton Manning, that's what happened. You know what he did? He did terrible. That's what he did. You know what Belichick did? He cut him. He literally cut him. And after that, people are calling for Belichick's job. Robert Kraft say, "Why'd you freaking trade Brady, man? Why'd you do that?" Julian Edelman said on the documentary, "We worked for Belichick, but we played for Tom really." That's what happened. That's what happened with that's what happened. That's what happened. But that's why Brady's to go, because he won with even when he lost, he was impactful still. I mean, the freaking Giants let him down. The Super Bowl, he let him down. He almost gave up the in the 19 AFC Championship game against the Mahomes, in the first time when he was on the Patriots, the defense gave up 15 points in the fourth quarter. You know, and Brady had to rescue them. He had to, because the defense was falling apart. Because Mahomes was cooking them, literally cooking them as his first year starter in the NFL. So yeah. So I get your point though about rings though, in the context overall. I agree with you, Nick, about context overall.
Yeah.
I think, you know, I think Tiger is to go in golf. I think in basketball, I don't know yet. I got to think about it. I think in tennis, I think Djokovic is the GOAT. He has less majors than Pete Sampras, but he's the GOAT. So in my book.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. And Amish, so that is true. Tom Brady he was definitely a game manager in that first Super Bowl. That second one, he did win Super Bowl MVP. I know he wasn't the focal point of that team yet to that point, but he did win Super Bowl MVP. And the Carolina Panthers did score 29 points, and you know, it was up to Brady to be able to match that. So,
and by the way, too, real quick on that comment too. By the way, Kurt Warner just threw a touchdown in the fourth quarter, and you know what Belichick told Brady to do? Go take the game over and go give us a field goal percentage. Go give us to a field goal drive. And look what happened. Brady did that.
Yeah. I mean, he did do that. So yeah, Brady's got 7 rings. Belichick has 6 as a head coach. He does have a couple as a coordinator. I think he's got 2 as a coordinator.
2, yeah, with the Giants.
He's got 2 as that is Brian Belichick. That is not who I want. I want Bill Belichick. Thank you. Whoa.
Travis, if Brady has one more, bro, I'll cry.
Yeah. So no, he has one more than.
Oh, did you mean like one more?
Yeah. So as an assistant, he's a two-time champ, and then as a head coach, he's 6-time. So yeah, Tom Brady had a fantastic coach. He had a great with LT. Yeah, he had a great coach. He had a good support. He had always had at least a good to amazing defense. At later points in his career, he really only did have Gronk throwing the ball, and then like
CTEAB.
Yeah, he had CTEAB for a little bit. He did have Randy Moss. He did lose that Super Bowl that he had Randy Moss. It's just there's a lot, and that's why I don't think Tom Brady's untouchable. I think I had Mahomes as the GOAT until he lost to the Eagles because I hate the Eagles and I got mad at Mahomes, so I threw him off the. So that might be a little personal bias there because I was a little angry at him for doing that to me. But
dude, that was bad.
But still, I don't think he's untouchable. I think Jerry Rice is the greatest football player ever. I think Tom Brady's had the best football career, and included with all the context and stuff like that. I'm not surprised, man. I'm not surprised he went bankrupt at all. But anyways. Yeah, so I'm consistent. I'm consistent on that. I know what I see with my eyeballs. I think Mahomes is a better quarterback in terms of talent and ability than Tom Brady, but Tom Brady has maybe the greatest mind.
Ever.
He's in terms of football, he's I think the only guy that comes close to him in pre-snap is Peyton Manning. I think Peyton Manning's right there with him pre-snap. Getting the ball out quickly, avoiding sacks. No one's as good as Tom Brady at that. He did have the 28-3 comeback in the Super Bowl. He threw for 500 yards in the Super Bowl. He was always great in big moments. So and that's another thing I wanted to mention right before. Longevity is also really important to me as well. I know that's kind of contradictory when I'm talking about different sports, but because I think Max is the GOAT at F1. He's not been driving for nearly as long as Lewis has had. So I try to keep it consistent, but there's some times where, like, for me, with Max in particular, because he's the one that's been doing it the least amount of time. But for me, it's like I just think he's the greatest driver ever. But for Tom Brady, he did it for so long at such a high level, right? He was so good for so long. LeBron's been so good for so long. Barry Bonds was so good for so long. And if Mahomes can be so good for so long and have all those records, he probably will beat Brady in a lot of records. I don't know
that's if he stops doing that's if he carries some records season.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to pick it up for sure because he kind of fell off in production. He's got to pick it up for sure if he wants to catch that 89,000 yards for sure. Don't know if he'll be able to. Max Glaze, I will always glaze Max. He's just the greatest driver ever. That dude's in a literal tractor.
How about Dale
right?
Earnhardt?
No one cares about Dale Earnhardt, bro. I'm sorry.
He died, but he was good though in the 90s.
Rest in peace, man. But nobody cares. Nobody cares. So, anyways, yeah. While we're on the topic of football, we're actually going to jump into our next topic. 40 minutes on ring culture. Nice. I said it was going to be about an hour, so we did pretty good. But we're gonna break down one division per week in football as the NFL season's rapidly approaching. Travis has never seen a single clip of Dale Earnhardt drive a car in his life. He's just saying
he's
that
pretty good.
I'm sure he was good, man. I'm sure he was good.
The car accident he had was terrible though.
Yeah, for sure. But he's not better than Sonny. He's not better than Sonny Hayes. I'll tell you that.
I think Jimmy Johnson is good. Jimmy Johnson is probably the best NASCAR driver I've seen. Jimmy Johnson.
I don't watch NASCAR. No one cares about NASCAR. So, yeah, we're gonna talk about the NFL. The first division we're gonna break down is the AFC West. Since we're on the topic of Mahomes, I thought we'd get this one out of the way here. The AFC West has seen some shakeups. You know, Geno Smith to the Raiders, the Chiefs, you know, kind of standing pat, adding some pieces, losing some pieces. They did lose their offensive lineman. Who was that? Oh, what's that guy's name? Joe Tooney. They lost the left guard Joe Tooney to the Bears. He was older, but the Chargers, you know, drafting. Who did the Chargers draft? I don't think the Chargers drafted anyone majorly important, actually. The Broncos adding some more defense. I mean, what are your thoughts on this division? Do you think it's going to? So last year, I'll do last year. Last year, the Chiefs were 15-2. Probably the worst 15-2 team ever. All of those teams were won by dark magic rituals, sacrificing of animals, lots of horrible things that the Chiefs were caught doing in their locker room. So the worst 15-2 team ever. Still, they were 15-2. Chargers were 11-6. Broncos were 10-7. Raiders were 4-13. The Raiders did also add Pete Carroll as their head coach. So, I mean, what are your thoughts on this division? What do you think? Do you think it's going to kind of stay the same? Who do you think is going to make the biggest jump in this division?
I think the Broncos will, because the Broncos got Greenlaw from the Jets too, who was really, really good, and defense is stacked too.
That defense is so good,
dude. That defense was good last year. I think last year, I don't know if you saw a PFF subscription. I don't know.
I do.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look on. I think last year, I'm gonna check real quick to make sure I get this right, because I don't want to make something wrong and according to somebody, I make the wrong stats. So
yeah, I mean, so they got Hufanga from the Niners. They got Dre Greenlaw, Pat Surtain. Like, dude, this man.
I'm trying to find it. I gotta find the password to this stuff, bro. Dang it.
Yeah, go to B-Dubs, man. Go to B-Dubs. That's definitely good. Yeah, the Broncos defense looks ridiculous. You know, Bo Nick's second year, they still have Cortland Sutton. They have Marvin Mims. They did add Evan Ingram for what it's worth. Man, that defense could be top 3 in the NFL. It could be the best defense in the NFL. It's just, yeah, it's going to be absolute lockdown. Adding Hufanga is huge. Jonathan Cooper is a fantastic player as well. He had 10.5 sacks last season. It's just that team looks really good. I could see them making a pretty big jump while you're working on that PFF stuff there. I could see the Broncos making a big leap. They won 10 games. Like, what's the realistic? What's the realistic?
Broncos?
Yeah, they did get RJ Harvey too. Yeah, that's yeah. That is very true.
Broncos was 4th in defense last year, bro.
Yeah, I mean, they had a great defense last year, and they got better. You know, they got
a lot better.
Yeah,
I think they'll make a good jump too. Another one too is probably I'm interested to see what the Raiders have to do. The Raiders with Ashton Jeanty as running back too.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I hate about Jeanty right now is that Pete Carroll made him change his lineup in the running back.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed that, but in OTAs it shows that, you know.
Yeah.
But I think Raiders will make a jump. Chargers I ain't sold because every year we say that and they always do something stupid and don't do anything. So for sure I got Chiefs, maybe. If Mahomes doesn't pick it up this year, man, I don't know what's gonna happen. Because
Yeah.
people think Chiefs are gonna go downhill big time next season. Even the years prior to that. I'm not sure. I don't want to say that. I hate to say that because that's my team behind the Cowboys because the Cowboys suck. And yeah, I don't know. It depends on how Mahomes plays because sure, the defense carried them, but their offense was 14th last year.
Mm-hmm.
And Mahomes only had 28 touchdowns last season, too.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I want to see it happen, but make something make him go up. But it's just up to Mahomes how he plays this season, man. Because I don't know, man. I'm scared for that. I'm scared for that team. I really am nervous about the Chiefs next season.
Yeah. So they're getting Rashee Rice back. Hopefully Patrick Mahomes won't dive bomb into his knees again this year. That'd be really, really cool. Mahomes, obviously, he's the best quarterback in the division. It's not close. Isaiah Pacheco, great running back. Rashee Rice is coming back. Xavier Worthy, second year. They still have Hollywood Brown, who will hopefully be healthy all year. The decline of Travis Kelce is a little concerning, but I do think that Rashee Rice helps that a lot because Rashee Rice is also a middle of the field receiver. Travis Kelce has always worked in the middle of the field. So I think Rashee Rice and Noah Gray will make up for Travis's Kelce. Travis's Kelce. Wow, that's an interesting way to put it. Will make up for Travis Kelce's deficiencies as he ages. But here's the thing: that defense is still stacked. They still have Karlaftis. They still have Chris Jones. They still have Mike Pennell. They still have Drew Smith, they have Nick Bolton, Leo Chenal. They still have probably the best cornerback in the NFL, or top 3 at least, in Trent McDuffie. They're still extremely good. I'm a little worried about the O-line. They had some issues with the O-line. They did lose. Like I said, Joe Tooney, but they still have Creed Humphrey. I think the best center. Trey Smith. I think Jawan Taylor's just horrible. He's horrible. Yeah. I don't know how
they cut him. They didn't cut him, bro. I don't know. We haven't cut him yet.
I don't know either, but they do have a new left guard, and Mike Calendu. Sorry, I said his name wrong. Mike Calendu. So I'm interested to see. I'm interested to see that O-line. I'd like to see them be able to protect Mahomes, and I think I hope and we should see bigger production in the regular season for Mahomes. I think we should for sure. But moving to the Chargers, some of the guys were talking in the chat that like this is a big year for the Chargers. And the issue is with the Chargers,
every year we say that crap and look what happens.
You have Justin Herbert. You have Ladd McConkey, I like Ladd McConkey. I know Amish likes Ladd McConkey. He was a sleeper pick in fantasy last year. But I just don't think you can win a playoff game in the AFC with Ladd McConkey as your number one option. Maybe I am wrong. Maybe Ladd McConkey is going to make a huge step up and be amazing and incredible. I just don't know. Quentin Johnston forgot how to catch a football. He can't catch a football anymore. So I'm just a little concerned. I'm really concerned there. They do have a great O-line anchored by Joe Alt, who's probably already the best right tackle in the league. See, you say a healthy Mike Williams, that's going to last 4 seconds. Mike Williams is never healthy. He's just not healthy. He's not going to be healthy. He's literally questionable in the offseason. He's got a Q by his name, and it's the offseason. Like, I'm just really concerned with his health. Najee Harris might be the slowest running back I've ever seen in my life. It looks like he runs in mud. Like, I'm dead serious. It looks like he runs in mud. I'm really concerned with the Chargers. I think the Broncos are better than them. And I think that they're going to be fighting for third in that division, which is really, really scary. And they have a good defense on paper. Joey Bosa's gone. I know he was hurt all the time, so it wasn't a really, it's obviously a big loss, but he was hurt all the time. Like Derwin James, you look at their defense on paper, it should be better than it is on the field. I'm concerned. I'm not. I'm Dez Fitzpatrick.
Who's that?
Who's Dez Fitzpatrick?
Who is that, Travis? Yeah, Bud Dupree.
Okay, like that's what I'm saying. They have a good defense on paper, but it's never good on the field. It makes no sense. They do have Bud Dupree and they do have Khalil Mack, and they do well. I'm not. I just Joey Bosa's gone. Joey Bosa's retired. Like he's done. I'm just really concerned with the Chargers. I think they're the third best team in that division, which would mean they miss the playoffs because I don't think the West is going to have 3 playoff teams. But yeah, I'm my chance for the biggest. My pick for the biggest leap is going to be the Broncos, and my pick for the biggest decline is going to be the Chargers. And I think the Raiders are in rebuild mode. They do have Geno Smith. They do have Pete Carroll. They do have Ashton Genty. They could be sneaky, win a couple big games here and there. I don't think they've done enough to really, really make a huge leap. So that, I have the Chiefs 1, the Broncos moving up to 2, the Chargers 3, and I have the real quickly, the Chargers were 1 game ahead of the Broncos last year. And I think the Broncos got significantly better than in comparison to the Chargers. So,
and plus, Bo Nix too, who's really good last season.
Yeah, and Bo Nix had a fantastic rookie season. He's a perfect quarterback to pair with Sean Payton, and they did draft R.J. Harvey, who could be a big a great rookie running back. They have J.K. Dobbins, they
have Evan Ingram too, man.
Yeah, they have a much better offense than the Chargers, in my opinion, in terms of weapons. Because I'm sorry, I like Ladd McConkey. He's far and away their best player on skill position for the Chargers. That's concerning. And I like Ladd. I think he's great, but I don't think he's Cooper Kupp in his prime. Like I just don't. So I'm a little concerned there. But for sure. So we are 9 Sundays away from football. We're going to stay at the NFL for a little bit here. I got Chargers 2, but I'm also the type of guy to draft Kyle Pitts again in fantasy. See, you outed yourself, right? You outed yourself. But we're 9 Sundays away from football. So who is your number 1 QB who is under the most pressure to win a Super Bowl this year?
I think it's Josh Allen in my book, because Josh Allen hasn't beaten Mahomes at all. People call Josh Allen Mahomes' son in the media, basically, because Joe Burrow's beat Patrick Mahomes, and Joe Burrow probably is the most considerably, probably top two QB when he's healthy wise in the NFL. But Josh Allen, that's one toe to toe with Mahomes. In my opinion, I think something happened in the AFC Championship last year in the playoffs where there was a holding call on the Bills, and the Bills lost due to that. And Josh Allen threw a stupid throw in the middle of the field. So here's the deal: Allen has played perfect games against Mahomes, and he still has lost. Last year, in my opinion, he did a lot better without crying Stephon Diggs on his team. A lot better without Stephon Diggs. Because Diggs to me is a freaking crybaby, and I can't stand it sometimes. And thank God they Texans traded him. But here's the deal: I think it's Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson in my book.
Okay. So
and Dak Prescott too.
Yeah. So here's Josh Allen is under pressure, but I'm gonna have to agree with Misha on this. I think Lamar's number 1. Yeah, and I'll tell you why. It's because we see Josh Allen, when he loses, he's always at least good. Last year,
Yeah.
he threw an absolute. I mean, it might have been the best pass I've ever seen, and Dalton Kincaid dropped it.
Yeah.
When Lamar loses in the playoffs, he's not good in those games.
Yeah. That's true.
He's bad. He can be bad in those games that he loses in the playoffs. So for me, I do think I'd go Lamar 1, Josh Allen 2. I see the Dak Prescott stuff. His team freaking sucks. The Cowboys are booty. The Cowboys suck. They're horribly ran. Their head coach is unproven, and apparently Dak Prescott can get better, which is what
No.
I don't. Dak isn't even he's not even in the Super Bowl conversation. Cowboys fans, please. I'm a Cowboys fan. I'm talking to Trey. I'm talking to Travis. I'm talking to media. I'm talking to Skip Bayless. I'm talking to Jerry Jones. Do not put the Cowboys, period. I said period as a period of a sentence. Okay, so that's the end of my sentence. Cowboys, period, in the same sentence as the Super Bowl. I don't want to hear it. I just don't want to hear it. It's a joke. Like, seriously, we're not talking about Dak Prescott in the Big 2025. He's at best like the 12th best quarterback in the NFL. And on some weekends, he can be 9 or 8. But
Yeah.
the Cowboys need to be away from Super Bowl conversations. They need to be away from conference championship. They just see Travis. What I say, Travis. I said don't put Cowboys and SB in the same sentence, and you put them in the same sentence.
You know, here's the deal. I think, in my opinion, man, they should have kept Romo, dude. They should have kept Romo at the time.
No, okay.
They should have kept him. Yeah,
I think
keep with him.
I don't know.
I think they could have.
He was really injury prone. I'm fine with him going with Dak. I'm fine with that. It's fine. They've made the playoffs. They won a couple playoff games. Great, all that. That's fine and dandy. Just don't talk about the Super Bowl. Just don't. Just don't talk about it. Dak has been good in some playoff games. He's great against the Bucks. He was great against the Seahawks. You know,
don't count that playoff one with the Bucks. Don't count it.
I'm counting it. He beat Tom Brady, and Dak looked incredible in that game. He looked incredible.
Count it.
And then what did he do the next week? He threw up a stinker versus the Niners. Whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. Travis is rage baiting me. I'm getting rage baited because he just said, so with the new coach and a healthy Dak equals Super Bowl. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Dak is going to overthrow George Pickens on a go route, and it's going to pan to George Pickens punching Jalen Ramsey in the face. And then it's going to cut to Jerry Jones measuring the girth of his players. Okay? Like, I can't do this. I cannot do this. Travis, you are a consistently delusional fan. And I think that's great. I think that's great. You're consistently
You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy,
What?
Nick?
What?
My family's Cowboys fans, okay? My whole family is.
I know.
And you know my uncle said?
Did he do the thing?
He said he's going to go all the way to Super Bowl, man.
Okay. I'm going to say this right now. And you guys can bookmark this. You can clip it. You can voice record it, video record it, whatever you want to do.
I might agree with him, though.
I will give Trey Lopez. I will give. Did you?
That ain't comment, dude. That's not me.
Okay.
I don't know.
I will give the real Trey Lopez, which is the guy sitting next to me. I will give Amish Pandy. I will give Travis Kai, and I will give fake Trey Lopez all $1,000 in cash if the Cowboys go to the Super Bowl. I will give you all $1,000 in cash if the Cowboys go to the Super Bowl. All of you. Book it. Just bookmark it, bro. Bookmark it. Record it.
I think
you all get 1,000 cash.
They'll make the playoffs, but I think they'll lose the first in the wild card.
I don't even think they're going to make the playoffs.
You don't think so?
No, because the Commanders are better than them. And the Commanders are going to be the second best team in the division. Is the East going to have 3? They had 3 last year, so I don't know. Maybe they didn't have 3 last year. Who was the third? Who's the third team? I don't even remember.
It was the Cowboys and then the Giants.
Was it? Well, because the Cowboys were third, but which division had 3 teams go to the playoffs last year in the AFC? That's one I don't remember.
The NFC South with the Bucks and the Panthers. That division.
Yeah, the East does never repeat champions, but that just means the Commanders are going to win it. Jaden Daniels is better than Dak Prescott. He's already better than Dak Prescott has ever been. I'm sorry. He just is. Okay? Jalen Hurts is better than Dak. Okay? The Eagles as a team are far superior than the Cowboys. I think the Commanders got better, and Jaden Daniels is better. And also, Dan Quinn, who should have been the Cowboys head coach, is a better head coach than Brian Schottenheimer. Okay? So can we just Cowboys? I don't even know how we got here because we're talking about the AFC West. And then somebody made me mad by mentioning the Cowboys. I don't remember.
I think it was Travis.
Oh, it's Travis because he's talking about Dak. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Cowboys fans, a plea from me, a Cowboys fan. Can we just stop talking about the Super Bowl? Can we just stop? Unless on my cellular device, I get a notification that Pat Mahomes got traded to the Cowboys. I don't want to hear anything about it. I don't want to hear anything about it.
Dude, I'll take Tom Brady. I'll take Tom Brady now over Dak Prescott, bro.
I'll take me. I'll take you. I'll take your dog. Yeah. I'll take Amish, Travis, and fake Trey all over Dak Prescott. I'll take them all.
Travis, bro, they're not going Super Bowl, dude. Travis, you know it, bro. Travis,
they're not. I will give you all $1,000 cash. I'll do it. I'll do it.
Travis, here's the deal, okay? I'm a Cowboys fan, okay? I'm a Cowboys fan. I'm gonna be real with you. Dak Prescott is a terrible leader. He's a terrible quarterback. He's overrated. In my book, he should not get paid that much money at all. They should, you know what the Cowboys should do? They should have tanked for Archie. That's what they should do. Tank for Arch from Texas. Please do it, Jerry Jones. Here's my problem with the Cowboys, okay? We keep people way too long. We kept Zeke way too long when he got fat, when he got into some trouble on a yacht. I'm being for real. We kept Des Bryant way too long. Okay? And look what happened. There needs to be literally, Travis, you're not winning anything, bro. Maybe go back in time. Someone built a time machine on his podcast. Go back to 1996 with Primetime, Troy Aikman, and Emmitt Smith and Michael Irvin on a team. That's how we will win the championship again. Go watch on YouTube. Here's the deal. My dad has VGR tapes on his in my garage of Cowboys games in the past from like the 90s. Let's go watch those. There's your championship right there, Travis. There's your championship right there. Go watch on YouTube.
Yeah, that's the only time that you with your eyeballs will see a Cowboys player raise the Lombardi is if you go onto your YouTube and type in 1996, whenever it was, it doesn't matter, one of those Super Bowls, type that in Cowboys Super Bowl. That's the only time you're ever going to see it because you're never going to see it again as long as Jerry Jones is the GM of that team.
I don't think Stephen Jones will do good of a job either. I don't think he will either.
No, dude, let my nephew Levi run the team. He'll probably do better. Okay. He'll probably do better. And you know, the sad part, okay, that's where I'm going to stop you. It's like, I've done all this. I've said all this nonsense, right? About how much I don't like the Cowboys. Brock Purdy is not better than Dak Prescott. Okay. Brock Purdy is not better than Dak Prescott. Anyways, Travis, Amish, Trey, fake Trey. You all get $1,000 cash if the Cowboys make the Super Bowl. Everybody, you get $1,000 cash. Okay. Anyways.
There's only two times I thought they'll make it all the way. That was in 2007 when they got what's his face, when they had like Terrell Owens, Miles Austin on that team, Marcus Spears. That defense was stacked that time, and then a couple years ago when they went undefeated at home. That's the only time I thought they'll make it. Other than that, same thing every year.
It's the same thing every year, and I'm just done. I'm done. I'm just so sick of it. I'm so sick of it. And
I really do think Romo could have won a Super Bowl with them, though. I do think he could have won.
Well, Dez did catch it, so I mean, anything could happen then if Dez catch it. But anyways, I don't even want to talk about this doc. You just go ahead, dude. Just do whatever. Say whatever you use.
Okay, so back to the documentary now. So Netflix guys coming up in a couple of weeks from now, a month from now from today.
You know what?
A month from now. So there's a documentary of the Dallas Cowboys, the America's team, with Jerry Jones, Michael Irvin, everyone promoted on that team from the 90s. Even Skip Bayless is on that team, by the way. Skip Bayless is. I don't even knew that, Nick. Skip Bayless, George Bush, President Bush, the late great Ronald Reagan. all on the Barack Obama, I think, on that stuff too. Here's the deal, okay? What I expect to see in the documentary is this. I think it'll be about the history of Jerry Jones, of why he's an idiot. I think it'll show the history of the Cowboys, and probably see the greatest team ever in Cowboys history, because we'll never see that ever again. That's what we're going to see from the documentary. It's great actual leaders on the team that were true leaders, from Troy Aikman, Michael Irvin, Emmitt Smith, primetime Deion Sanders, Jimmy Johnson. That's who we will see. Because here's the deal. Every Cowboys player out there, I want you to watch that documentary. And you'll see what a leader is and what a winner is. Because y'all will never be one. Y'all will never be one. You'll never be a leader. You'll never be a true player. You'll never be a champion. So I want you to take it all in. Let it motivate you. Think about it. Someone forced Jerry to sell the team. Give it to the guy.
Hey, bro, the buses just sold the Lakers, so anything's possible.
Yeah, I mean, you never know, bro. I never thought the Bucks would never sell the Lakers. I never thought that would have happened in my life. But here's the deal. Someone go get the GM. Go get freaking Michael Jordan, for crying out loud, or Magic Johnson, and because Magic Johnson actually built the Washington Commanders team. By the way, he's part of the GM ownership. I don't know if you knew that, Nick. He's part of the Commanders. And he mixed up. He actually drafted Jalen Ramsey, by the way. Not Jalen Ramsey. What's his name? Jaden Daniels to the Commanders. That's who he drafted. Or go get LeBron James from the NBA. Let him run the Cowboys and let him run and play basketball too. Because the Cowboys are just going downhill. Jerry Jones is a terrible GM. I don't know why he's in the Hall of Fame. I find it crazy to me, Nick, that Robert Kraft ain't in the Hall of Fame, but Jerry Jones is. Robert Kraft is in the Hall of Fame. Not in the Hall of Fame, but Jerry Jones is, bro. I find that really surprising to me. But you know what? It is what it is. So documentary coming out. Can't wait for it. I want everybody to watch what a champion is and leader is, because everybody on the Cowboys team is not a leader and champion at all. So go ahead.
I'm not talking about it. Anyways, so this did happen earlier. The Steelers did acquire Jalen Ramsey. Wow, that's awesome. So now they're going to win 11 games and then lose in the first round of the playoff. That's pretty sick.
Oh, yeah. Do you think, this is Aaron Rodgers' last season?
I thought last year should have been. So, Michael Porter got traded a little bit ago. Yeah. Michael Porter got traded for a bag of chips and a Sprite, a half drinking Sprite. Okay. I don't even know the actual. Yeah, he did. It doesn't matter. He's freaking sucks. Yeah, Steelers are Unk if Unk was a team. Yeah, just pack it up, bro. Pack it up.
Yeah.
This does nothing. I'm not moved by this. I'm sorry. I'm not.
Yeah, neither am I. He ain't gonna do anything for the Steelers.
They're not better than the Ravens. They're not better than the Ravens.
Nope.
They're not better. They might be better than the Bengals because the Bengals have no idea what they're doing, but I think Joe Burrow's far, far, far better than Aaron Rodgers. So,
yeah, I know they fired their head coach though.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not moved by that. I mean, what do you think on that, Jalen Ramsey? I'm not really super impressed by that pickup.
I'm not impressed by it either. I think Jalen Ramsey's done. He had his best year. He had 1 year good. And I don't know what team was it? The Rams. That's it. One good year. Now he sucks.
Yeah, I'm not impressed. Anyways, I'm so disgusted with the Cowboys that I felt like I had to eat during the segment we were talking about them. That's how disgusted with them I am. Anyways, moving over to golf real quickly. We're gonna just make our quick early picks on the Open. It's a little too early for me to tell. I guess Rory's still drunk. and hungover from his Masters win. I honestly don't know. I'm just gonna say Scotty because right now I'm gonna say Scotty because I have no idea. I'm gonna think about it a little more, but right now I'm gonna say Scotty.
I think Rory will win it. It's his hometown. He has to win it, bro.
I know it's his hometown, but dude, he's been playing horrible since he won the Masters, bro.
You know, he's good at throwing his club. That's it.
Mm-hmm. That was cool.
Yeah,
and
it was cool.
It, and it bounced off the bag.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool.
Oh, Grant Horvat too, bro. He's going to get his tour card now.
Yeah, he's not gonna.
He's on a Cornberry tour right now, bro.
He's not gonna win the Open.
No, he might. I think he might make it to PGA Tour though. He's getting his card. He's playing for his card.
Yeah, I don't know. That's really hard. We'll see. Wish the best on because I really like the guy, but I don't know. Yeah. So I was gonna say Scotty, but as we get closer, we'll do what we always do: final groupings, talk about it, all that stuff. But real quickly, we're gonna do some combat sports stuff. I'm actually gonna talk about UFC 317 first. So UFC 317 was probably the best card of the year so far. He's saying like he watched it.
I did.
You didn't watch it.
I watched the final fight.
So, oh man, this was a great card. I'm just gonna start with Joshua Van versus Brandon Royval because this was probably the fight of the year. I mean, these guys were absolutely swinging. They were going at it. They were fighting. It was really, 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 really good. Joshua Van did win a unanimous decision. Looks like he was a 12th ranked flyweight. He moved all the way up to the number one contender. So he's looking like he's next to fight Pantoja. And speaking of Pantoja, he did defend his belt against Kai Kara France. Pantoja is he's one of the most complete fighters in the UFC right now. His striking is fantastic. He has one of the best ground games. I think the gap between him, I mentioned this during the fight. I think the gap between him and the second best flyweight is the biggest gap. But I think the only one that comes closer is the gap between Tom Aspinall and Cyril Gane because, that stupid idiot doofus, horrible human being, John Jones, finally retired. Thank God. So I do think Pantoja, and then I guess now it's Joshua Van, is the biggest gap between him, and then I think Tom Aspinall and Cyril Gane's another pretty big gap. But that was another great fight. Pantoja did choke him out, won that fight pretty easily. It was really not close at all. And then, oh man, Ilia Topuria, Charles Oliveira for the lightweight title. Islam Makhachev moved up to welterweight, so he did vacate the title. So this was a title fight. Ilia moved up to 155, and he knocked Charles out. Knocked him out. I've never seen it in my life. He knocked him out cold. Charles Oliveira is known for his chin. Obviously a lot of other stuff, but he's known for being able to take big hits and get back up. He took that right hook and did not get back up. That was brutal. I think Ilia Topuria's he's got to be a top 3 fighter right now, easily. He's one of the best fighters I've ever seen. His striking is so he's a Conor. If Conor McGregor could wrestle, is Ilia Topuria, and he absolutely knocked out Charles Oliveira. And he did say if Islam moves up to 170 and wins the belt versus JDM, that he's going to chase him. He's going to chase Topuria, or Topuria is going to chase Islam up to welterweight. So that makes Ilia Topuria the third. I think it's like the 8th guy to have a double title. He had the title in lightweight and the title in bantam as well. So I'm he's ridiculously good. And then Paddy Pimblett confronted him in the cage after. Paddy, man, I love Paddy Pimblett. He's a shouser. He doesn't get knocked out, right? I like Paddy Pimblett a lot, but man, do not go for Ilia, Paddy. Stay away. This guy's the Grim Reaper. He's literally a supervillain. You got to stay away from him. But yeah, Trey, I know you only watched the highlights. So what was your thoughts on the highlights?
Actually, I watched the full fight because I figured out a way to find a full fight. Because I know those two legal websites are banned now due to the FBI basically. But I watched the last fight. The guy knocked him out pretty cold. It's pretty unreal. Thank God I'm not in the UFC because I'll probably die.
Yeah, nah, yeah, not Taporia is just he's just unbelievable. Yeah, I don't know, man. Featherweight. Sorry, I said bantamweight earlier, but Ilya is the featherweight belt holder and the lightweight belt holder. It's just very, very impressive stuff. I really want to see Islam versus Ilya. I think Islam's the only guy in the remotely in that weight class that could compete with Ilya. I think he's the best fighter right now in terms of pound for pound rankings. He was number one ranked over John Jones, who's Dana White's boyfriend. So I mean, that's pretty impressive. That's pretty impressive that Islam was ranked that highly. So yeah, I think Islam's really the only guy that can take out Ilya right now. So, yeah, really, really great card. It was a really, really great card. Are we getting Wimbledon coverage the next 2 weeks? Absolutely. We're going to be talking Wimbledon.
Yeah, I got you,
bro. The Rockets projection, we did cover this when KD did get traded, I think. Did we? I don't even remember. I don't even know if I was here.
No, you weren't here.
Yeah, I don't know what the guys said, but for me, I could definitely see Western Conference Finals if everyone stays healthy, because they were a couple shots away from, they almost beat the Warriors, and Jalen Green's horrifically horrible in the playoffs. And
yeah, traded too.
Yeah, and I think that the Rockets with KD, that's yeah, Amen Thompson, KD, Şengün, it's one of the best teams in the league. I could definitely see Western Conference Finals and maybe even the finals. I don't know. I mean, the Thunder didn't impress me versus the Pacers. So, I mean, I think they're a gettable team. I know Shea's going to get better. I know J-Dub's going to get better. Chet's probably going to just say a bunch of stuff that no one knows what he's saying. Like, 58 hang from 30 ball. I don't even know what he said. OD, something crazy. But yeah, definitely Western Conference Finals. I think they could challenge the Thunder for a finals run as well. So, moving on, me and Trey had a little discussion. Yeah, I'm just not impressed when it takes 7 to beat a team who wasn't even supposed to be in the finals, and the guy got his Achilles snapped in half in the game 7 after he scored 3 straight threes, and it's just not, whatever. Sorry. Sorry. I like guys that beat 73 win teams, not 50 win teams. Anyways, me and Trey had a little discussion. Alex Caruso slaps Jokic every time he touches the ball. That's not impressive. It's a foul. It's called a foul. Okay? And the refs just anyways. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Okay, me and Trey had a little discussion about the GOAT of boxing over text. And I don't know why he made this a question, because this isn't exactly what we were talking about. But the thing is, Trey thinks Floyd Mayweather's the GOAT of boxing. I really don't know why. It's because he's 50-0. Trey thinks that's really cool. Trey can't really name anyone that he actually fought.
I did.
So I told him to name me people that he fought. And the first 2 guys that Trey said were Logan Paul and Conor McGregor.
And Manny Pacquiao. And
so I'm really not impressed by that. So the issue with Floyd, the question was, is Canelo Alvarez the GOAT? No one said that. I said if he beats Terrence Crawford, that he's going to be the GOAT. Okay, well we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it if he beats Terrence Crawford. But Canelo, the whole thing with Mayweather is that his resume just doesn't have enough. It's just not enough. It's not enough. He was great. He's a top 10 boxer, I think, pretty firmly. I think Muhammad Ali, Sugar Ray Robinson, I think Mike Tyson, a lot of guys have a better resume. They fought.
Mike Tyson's career was short.
More champions. It was short, but it was very, very impressive. I think Mike Tyson in his prime was the greatest boxer ever. His prime didn't last very long, but I do think he's the greatest boxer ever. I think Canelo Alvarez is building a much, much stronger resume than even Floyd Mayweather had. Oh, Floyd beat Canelo. Canelo was like 22 years old. He was a literal baby. He was a literal child. Canelo's twice the boxer he was when he fought Floyd. But Yeah, I mean, Trey. I mean, what do you think, man? What do you think?
Okay. So I think Canelo Alvarez is probably the best Mexican boxer ever. I think probably top 3 right now in my book. I think he's probably the best fighter since Floyd in this era. It's up to you, if you want Floyd style or Canelo's style. So I think for sure those two are for sure the top boxers in today's generation, big time. I like Canelo Alvarez a lot too. I think Canelo he's a beast, bro. I mean, he did train Ryan Garcia and even though Ryan Garcia and him had beef for a little bit, but you know what is what it is. I do kind of find it wrong that Canelo wasn't there for Ryan Garcia when Tank beat him. That's my opinion about that. But Canelo Alvarez is a great boxer. He was literally from Mexico, you know. But I'm gonna give you full resume. So here's the deal. His style is orthodox, or just which is left hand. No, that's not. That's right hand. My bad. Right hand.
Left-handed jab. Yeah.
Like he played both styles.
Yeah.
He was a counter puncher, mastered the shoulder roll. Many people like to copy in today's boxing styles. This is his achievements though. He has world titles in 5 weight classes. Super featherweight when he was actually knocking people out because he broke his hand too. Lightweight, light welterweight, welterweight, light middleweight. He's an Olympic bronze medalist, 96. He's a ring fighter of the year, 1998, 2007, 2013, 2015. He also was Writers Association American Fighter of the Year in 2013 and 2015. Okay. And then of course his business is probably made the most money ever in boxing, by the way. Probably the best promoter ever. I mean, he had his own promotion company and stuff like that. But on top of that, 27 knockouts. He also had 50 of those, obviously, which is pretty impressive too. But also, he's 54% KO rate, which is pretty decent in boxing. Ain't that good, but it's pretty decent. He's boxed 403 rounds in his boxing career. Ryan Garcia's my best promoter in boxing ever. Oscar De La Hoya literally uses him, as he uses his company, by the way. Anyways, he also has 12 across 5 weight divisions. He's fought 12 divisions basically. Overall accuracy, 46%. His combo box, which is in his prime, 46%, which is ranked best among elite active fighters. His plus mining rating is plus 24. He's landed 24 punches than he observed during his prime. His opponent hit rate was 17-18% of their punches, which is below average because he had a broken hand, of course, when he was younger. So yeah. So Canelo Alvarez, though, this is Canelo Alvarez. Okay. Canelo Alvarez is 67 fights total, 63 wins and 2 losses, 2 draws. His last fight he lost was in 2021 when he lost to that guy, and I did watch that fight, by the way, because I'm a big fan of Canelo Alvarez. So yeah, Canelo Alvarez has a 62% knockout rating. He has approximately rounds fought 520 rounds. Okay. He has won every freaking title in the belt. Light middleweight, super middleweight, and also he's also undisputed status twice, holding it. He's held the title twice. Top of that, he also lost some weight class. He also lost some belts too because he moved up weight classes. And he did fight. I did watch May 3rd when he fought William School. I did watch Jamie Charlo. I did watch him lose against Mayweather, and he was young. And I did watch Dimitri versus Bivol when he lost in the United division through the decision fight, which by the way, which is bogus because Canelo should have won that fight. He's 5'7", okay? His fights right-handed too. Good defensive style of boxing too. He's been in 4 weight classes in his career. So if Canelo wins a fight against Terrence Crawford, I'll say he's the go-to.
Okay, there we go. There we go. There we go. I like it.
Now, if Crawford wins the fight, bro, it's his league.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, probably right.
He'll be the best.
No, this is huge. Like Canelo versus Terrence Crawford. That's just ridiculous.
I never thought I would ever see that. But Dana White took over boxing and making things happen. That's what boxing needed.
Yeah. The it's for Canelo's super middleweight title. It's gonna be a title defense. Terrence Crawford's unbelievably good.
He's really good,
he's what 44-0.
Yeah.
He's 44-0, I believe. Let me double check. He's 41-0. I'm sorry, he's 41-0. He's won everything. He's incredible. He's strong. He's 31 KOs, 41 wins, 31 KOs. This is going to be, it's Canelo's probably his biggest fight since the Triple G Part 3 in 2022. This is huge. Terrence Crawford's very, very good. 41-0, undefeated. So if Canelo wins this fight, if Canelo knocks Terrence Crawford out, if he knocks Bud Crawford out, we're gonna have to have some conversations. Absolutely. So, we're gonna. Okay. So we're at the point. We're actually pretty decent. We're an hour and 26 in. We're at the point, guys, where we're about to talk about some absolute nonsense. So the first question on the stupid question, I'm gonna call it the stupid question segment. The first question on the stupid question segment is Yellowstone better than Suits? Okay. So I've never seen Yellowstone.
Never seen Yellowstone?
I've seen like 2 episodes, so I haven't seen enough of it to really know about it. And I've seen a couple seasons of Suits. So for me, I'm gonna have to say, yeah, we're gonna talk F1 when we're talking about Sunny Hayes. We'll talk about F1 when we get to Sunny Hayes. We'll talk to F1 when we get to Sunny Hayes. I don't know. Suits, I guess. What about you, bro? You've seen both, like a lot of both. So
yeah. So I'm on season 4 of Yellowstone because me and my girl watching it. It's a good show, and I recommend it, Nick. I recommend it big time.
Okay.
There's some scenes you have to fast forward. There's some purposes, but it's a pretty good show. Okay. It's about John Dutton has this ranch that, dude, this guy's ranch is freaking huge. So he will see what I mean by that. Okay. It's bigger than half of Texas, basically, bro. That's how big his ranch is. So right now, I want to say Suits because I like Harvey Specter a lot. Best mentality ever, like we talked about that one time. So right now, I'm gonna say Yellowstone for right now.
Okay.
Now, something happens at the end, I'm gonna freaking crash out.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. John Dutton or Harvey Specter? Harvey Specter, all the way. Harvey Specter's the GOAT, bro.
Okay. Oh man, this is tough for me.
Bro, Harvey Specter is so tough. You put in one of our stupid things, you said, is Harvey Specter have the GOAT mentality? Like, come on, it's Harvey Specter, bro.
Here's the deal, though. If you screw John Dutton's ranch, he will kill you. Like, he will find a way to kill you, bro.
But if you mess with Harvey Specter, he's good.
And you'll find a way to put you jail. I know that. You know what? I'm gonna do like I do with Jordan LeBron to tie.
Oh my gosh. Whatever, bro. Okay, Solo Leveling or Invincible. Invincible has a much better story. But Solo Leveling anime is more fun to watch because I think it's better animated. Yeah. So okay, we're gonna talk a little F1 real quick. So F1 real quickly. Austria did happen last week. Lando Norris won. He won pretty easily. McLaren dominated the weekend, double podium. Lando won, Oscar 2. Ferrari finally seeming like they have some decent pace. They were 17 seconds behind McLaren. I get it, whatever, but they were still 3 and 4. Charles 3, Lewis 4. I don't remember the last time I've seen Lewis Hamilton, who's apparently the GOAT, outplace his teammate. I don't even remember the last time I saw that. Anyways, George was 5th. Liam Lawson with his best finish in his career at 6. Fernando Alonso 7. A double kick point weekend is crazy. Bortoleto and Hulkenberg both 8 and 9. They were within the points. When was the last time Kick got 6 points in a weekend? I don't even know if it's ever happened. And then Esteban Ocon at 10 for Haas, which rounds out the points. It was a great weekend for everyone not named Max Verstappen, because Kimi Antonelli watched the F1 movie and he thought he was Sonny Hayes, and his brakes locked up and he slammed into Max literally at the first turn, and both of their races were over. Max said a little bit later that he totally gets it. Kimi was really embarrassed, but Max was very, very kind to him. He's a rookie driver. He's going to get better. He's a very, very good driver. Mistakes happen. It's just unfortunate that he had to slam into Max, who was making a play for 4th. And, each point is very, very important at this point in the season. But nonetheless, some people, myself included, they think, you know what? Maybe Toto Wolff, the team principal for Mercedes, said, "Hey, Kimi, slam into Max so he can fall to the top 3 in points. So his contract clause will be up and he can leave Red Bull so he can come to Mercedes," which would be absolutely nuts if Max ends up in Mercedes. But maybe that's what happened. I don't know. Maybe not. The driver standings as they are now, though, is Oscar at 1, 216, Lando 2, 201, 15 behind his teammate. Max 3rd, somehow still after a DNF, 155. He's about 60 points shy of the lead. George Russell at 4 with 146. Charles at 5 with 119. Lewis at 6 with 91. Kimi 7th with 63. He was trying to get Joshua Pierce and Sonny Hayes. I mean, he's going for everybody. Alex Albon 8 with 42. Esteban Ocon 9 at 23. And Nico Hulkenberg for the kick in the top 10 of the drivers, 22. They're doing all this finally figuring the car out just to turn into Audi next year. It's pretty cool. And then to constructors, there's McLaren's clear by 200 points, 417, Ferrari 2 at 210, Mercedes at 3, 209, and Max Verstappen Racing, aka Red Bull Racing, I'm at 162. So yeah, that being said, that's the F1. That's the F1 pit stop. We're gonna call it the pit stop, the box segment. Okay. That being said, I have a very important question. Guys, this is a super, 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 super important question. Is Sonny Hayes the biggest what if in F1 history? Okay.
I haven't seen the movie, so I don't know. Saw the first one, that's it.
He was young, racing against his goats in Senna and Schumacher. Okay. And he had a horrible injury, right? But we all know when he won in 2023 at Abu Dhabi and then retired, bro, man, he was what, 60? I don't even remember. That guy, Sonny Hayes, he was legendary. Who do we think's winning the championship? It's going to be between Oscar and Lando. Max, Red Bull is completely falling off the wagon. I don't think Max is going to be able to win enough to keep up to compete for 5. But it's probably Oscar, but Lando did look very, very good this weekend. So we will see. We will definitely see. But it's definitely between the McLarens. It's absolute McLaren domination. So that being said, yeah, Sonny Hayes, man. There's no what if he did, but no, he finished with like 41 points, okay? And that was for half a season. Like, what if he never got injured? GOAT? 8, 9 championships? Who knows? That being said, moving over to some these aren't stupid questions, but more other stuff. Let's talk about EA real quickly here. So EA is bringing back a college basketball game. That's pretty impressive. That's pretty cool. I'm pretty excited for that. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, bro. Last time I played was like 2010, bro. Freaking almost 15 years, but I can't wait. I can't wait for it, man. I mean, thank God. I mean, I didn't have a doubt. I kind of did have a doubt we'll never bring back ever again, but hey, man, college football came back 26, so yeah.
Yeah, and then that being said, college EA 26 gameplay did happen. I haven't seen the gameplay yet. I'm assuming you have. So what do you think?
Dude, looks a lot better in 25, bro. Because what EA did?
Hmm.
They actually listen to the fans and their comments, their concerns, and they fixed the stuff that happened. So yeah, I think what happened too is the passing is a lot better, the running is a lot better, the defense is a lot better, and dynasty mode is a lot better too. You can actually you can actually be bench or Horde of Glory if you, or you can also be bench or suspended if you're terrible on the field or off the field. In dynasty mode, you can also bench people too, and suspend people as well.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
It's pretty cool. Yeah, and I'm really excited for the basketball. If there's like a Road to Glory version in EA college basketball, which I'm assuming there is, I'm gonna make a point or like a point guard, shooting guard, whatever, doesn't matter. Go to tech, and my only goal is gonna be to make all my free throws. I don't care what else happens, because if our guys could shoot their free throws, who knows what happened against Florida? That's all I'm saying. Okay.
yeah,
Or not against Florida. Against it would have been against oh my goodness, who did Florida beat? I already forgot. Houston, right? Yeah, Houston.
yeah.
So it'd have been, we proved that we beat Houston already. That's all I'm saying. But all I'm gonna do is shoot my free throws. That's all I want to do is shoot free throws and make them all. And we're going to the natty. Okay. So, anyways,
Yeah, Travis, I agree with you about Dutton. If John Dutton will kill you herself if he has to. But I agree with you about that. In Yellowstone, Nick, watch it, bro. It's on Prime. It's on Peacock, bro.
I'll think about it. I'll think about it, bro.
I promise you, bro. It's worth it, bro. I thought it was stupid too. Guys, I'm like, this is actually a good show, bro.
We'll see, man. We'll see. Oh, the corners can't pick balls. They can't pick balls they can't see. That's cool. That's cool. Well, I'm excited for both of those. So, alrighty, guys. Thank you so much for joining us on a episode where we managed to make it almost an hour and 40 minutes long. Don't know how we did it, but we did it. Thanks for being here. Thanks for everyone who's here during the live. Thanks for everyone who's watching this later. We really appreciate you guys. Y'all have a fantastic rest of your knife. Giveaway. I said have a fantastic rest of your knife. I'd say fantastic rest of your night. Giveaway at the end of the month. Please accept it, because we're gonna end up having $500,000 to give away, and I'm just gonna take it. So,
$45 this time, bro.
Yeah, it's 45. It's 45. So, but Jeremy Lin is still
every sports talk show out there.
All right, we're out of here, guys. All right, y'all have a good night. We'll see you. W Stream, W Mish. Love you guys. See y'all later.
Love you, man. Travis, that's up to you, bro.